Yo, what is up, guys? We are going to do a quick live stream, try to lock in some NFL preseason plays. So let me actually stop sharing my screen, pull up PrizePicks, pull up Underdog Fantasy, get them logged in, get them ready to go, and let's find some bets. Pretty simple video. So logging in. Whoa, looks like PrizePicks got a little update. Woo. So let's take a look. Anyways, yesterday we did a live stream. We hit a ton of plays, a ton of really good lines on PrizePicks we got yesterday. Yesterday we got Austin Hubbard over 12. Man, we had some big slips with this. Well, it looks like this one didn't cash, but 2 for 3 here. 3 for 3 so far here. So pretty good slip yesterday. MMA value was off the charts. Hubbard was at 12. The fight time, it should have been a lot higher. You can see PrizePicks already bumped it up to 14. But anyways, what we'll do is I'll try to keep this video tighter, and we can look for some bets. So the first tool that I use is the positive EV tool. So I've explained this before, but a lot of people think OddsJam, oh, it's this complicated product. It's pretty simple. All OddsJam is doing is scanning all this crap. I mean, if you look at, Underdog Fantasy, all these different platforms, there are tens of thousands of lines that you can bet at any given time, right? All OddsJam is doing is scanning all these books, trying to point out value in the market to you. So if you look at the Diamond, so our first bet will be on Fliff. I like Fliff. Fliff is a sports book. It's legal in a lot of states. Fliff is legal in California, a bunch of different states. I'm currently in California. There's not a lot of books and not a lot of sports books in California, but Fliff is available. And all the positive EV tool does is for, the sports books you use. I set my max odds at 250, kind of a preference thing. But for whatever sports books you use, it's just going to point out value in the market. So big discrepancies in odds. And I say this all the time, but it's good if you know how to navigate these books quickly. The best bets, they're not going to last forever. So Fliff has a max bet size of 250. That's the max you're, ever allowed to play on Fliff. So this will be the first bet I lock in, under 3.5 runs at plus 175. I've explained before, but I follow a very data-driven approach. Fliff is giving us plus 175. Other books have this around plus 155-ish. So 20 cents of value. I've explained this before, but a lot of people think the way to beat the sports books is, oh, I'm going to create a better model than FanDuel Sportsbook. That's not the way you're going to beat books. FanDuel is a billion-dollar company with tens of thousands of employees, or tens of thousands. All these sports books have a lot of employees. They've invested a lot of money into their models, their data feeds, their ability to set lines. The way to beat sports books is to find discrepancies in the market and take advantage of them, right? Fliff, there's not a ton of bets on Fliff, it looks like right now. But again, that's just how it goes sometimes. OddsJam's reading in all these lines. Doesn't look like there's a lot of MLB tonight, or actually maybe there is. I'm not really sure. But OddsJam's just reading in all this data, pointing out value. Maybe you have access to these sports books, maybe you don't. So Torkelson home run looks like it's great value at plus 250 on Superbook. Finding value, finding an edge, you're going to win every bet. But if you're finding value in the market, getting an edge, then you're going to win long term. So this bet looks great. But again, Superbook, it's not legal in my location. So that kind of sucks. But you're stuck to using, sports books that are legal in your location. There's 207 books out there where there's profitable bets. But again, I don't have access to most of these. You can see there's some good plays on Circa, FanDuel, whatever. But anyways, let's go over to Underdog Fantasy. Let's try to find some NFL bets, NFL preseason bets. Looks like there's some pretty good value. So why don't we start out on Underdog Fantasy? Beautiful. So we can take a look. This play looks pretty good, right? So if you look at Watkins, his receiving yards line is 24.5 on ParlayPlay. Let's check out PrizePicks. PrizePicks has his line. Looks like they did a little site update. Site looks kind of pretty. If we do a little site update, you can see PrizePicks has Watkins at 24.5 as well, right? So I've explained this before. All these books, They've invested a lot of money in their ability to set lines. You're not just going to outsmart them. That's very naive thinking. If you think you can beat the books long-term without finding value in the market, you're in for a rude awakening, a very rude awakening. So you can see, because all these books set lines independently, you have ParlayPlay at 24.5, PrizePicks at 24.5. Underdog Fantasy is an inefficiency, right? They have the line at 27.5, and we have these two other data points, ParlayPlay and PrizePicks, that are saying, yo, Watkins' line should be at 24.5. So we found some value on Underdog Fantasy. So that seems like a pretty good NFL preseason bet to go with, right? We're getting 3 yards of value to the other data points in the market. What other plays do we like? Joseph Nagata, we could take his over 22.5 receiving yards as well on Underdog Fantasy. So again, like on these sports books, I mean, I've said it all the time, you don't have to win every single bet. You know, PrizePicks is a platform where you're getting a 2x payout if you go, 4 for 5. It's all about trying to win long-term. And if you have an edge, you're going to win long-term, right? So this play looks pretty good. It's like, it's fine. I'm not going to win every bet, but if you have an edge, hopefully we can win long-term. So we really need Jonquel Jones under 13 points. We got a lot of exposure on Jonquel Jones under 13 points. But anyways, first play, second play, other sports books have his line at 24.5. So that seems pretty good. I actually hit this play earlier, but I kind of this is kind of nice positive correlation. So I've explained before, but like Underdog Fantasy, right? They don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So when you're playing NFL props, if you're going to take a QB's under, you should probably take the receivers under as well, right? It doesn't really make much sense. I can actually get rid of that. It doesn't really make much sense to take, Thompson's over and Watkins is under, right? If Thompson goes over, then Watkins is more likely to go over as well. And you're getting a 3x payout, whether you take picks the same direction or different directions. So I'm going to take his under as well. And again, it's a very simple concept. Like, you really got to simplify, your mindset when you're betting on sports. And by that, I mean, if you find value, that's going to help you get an edge over the books, win long-term. Nobody can win every bet, but you can see, ParlayPlay has Dorian Thompson's line 5 yards lower. All these other books have Dorian Thompson-Robinson. They have his line lower, around like 97. So we're getting some decent value. And again, also, these plays are positively correlated. If Watkins, if Thompson goes under, then Watkins is more likely to go under. But anyways, we can continue to look for some plays. Maybe we can find some good plays out there. So you can see there's a lot of plays that we could potentially go with. But maybe the third pick we take on Underdog Fantasy, we can roll with a WNBA play, will be Chelsea Gray over 6.5 assists. So sure, we can go with this, right? So we want to take her, and you can see they just bumped her up to 7. So when I talk about moving quickly, I mean, same thing on Fliff, like knowing how to navigate these books, how to move quickly is going to help you a lot. It's going to help you a lot. So what we can do is we can try to find another play. Maybe, what do we want to take? So we can take a look. Some plays I like better than others. So you can see here, like there's some pretty big line discrepancies in esports. So Dota 2, again, OddsJam is just reading in all this data, pointing out discrepancies, pointing out value in the market. You're going to see Underdog Fantasy has this guy's line. So let's go to PrizePicks, Dota 2, right? PrizePicks has his line at 17.5. Underdog Fantasy is at 19. That's a pretty big discrepancy. Esports markets are super inefficient, right? And by that, I mean, like, books are trying to price so many games. There's so many esports matches, right? They try to do a lot. And sometimes they screw up, right? When you're trying to price dozens of games per day, that's more surface area for books to cover. And honestly, they don't really do that good of a job, and that leads to opportunities. But one thing I don't like about this play is Underdog Fantasy has the line at 19. PrizePicks is at 17.5. So we know there's a discrepancy, but it's not really clear, like, who's wrong, right? Is PrizePicks the one screwing up? Is their line too low at 17.5? Or is Underdog Fantasy screwing up and their line's too high at 19? It's not really clear, right? Whereas, for this NFL play, it's pretty clear there's value on the under since all the other books have this line around like 97, 96. And Underdog has this line at 100.5, right? We have 1, 2, 3 other data points telling us, yo, Underdog Fantasy is screwing up. Their line's too high at 100.5, so you want to take the under. So anyways, maybe we do take this play on Nagata. So let's get rid of this, and we can take this, and we can have a little NFL parlay for tonight. And all these plays are positively correlated, right? If, you know, the Browns have a crappy game and they don't have the ball as much, then Robinson is more likely to go under. Watkins is more likely to go under, and the Eagles will have the ball more. So Joseph Nagata is more likely to go over. So all of these plays actually are positively correlated. So we got a little 3-pick slip. So again, that's just like a general tip, right? Is on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a platform, right, where they're not changing your payout based on you selecting over versus under, right? It's really important. So if you're going to take Robinson's over, right, you should probably, it makes sense to look for a Cleveland receiver, right, who you can also take over. These plays are positively correlated, right? You're always getting a 3x payout for a 2-pick entry, so it wouldn't make any sense to take Robinson's over and Tillman's under. So as an added benefit to getting value, which the fantasy optimizer, again, on OddsJam is pointing out, these big discrepancies in the lines, Austin Watkins, we have a 3-yard discrepancy, so we're finding some value in the market. You know, we're also getting positive correlation, which is an added benefit. We're taking a QB and his receivers under. So this is a good play, 3-pick entry, and we can go ahead and we can lock it in. Boom. So we got a little 3-pick entry. Pretty happy about that. And we can refresh this. You know, we can refresh this. So again, like any other plays in the market. So I don't have access to a lot of these sports books right now. I'm honestly really stuck with, you know, Underdog, PrizePicks, kind of the different fantasy sites. So we can add in ParlayPlay. We can add in, you know, whatever. Caesars is a popular one. So you can see not much value, very low profit margin. On FanDuel, are there any good bets? So FanDuel, it looks like, has more plays right now. You can see there's some soccer plays. There's some, you know, whatever. Like, I don't care what I'm betting on. I've explained this before. There's value in esports. I'll be betting on esports. If there's value in, you know, on ParlayPlay, I'll have more bets on ParlayPlay. All of these books, you know, have different lines from one another. They all can screw up on a given day. They all run different promos. So you can see Hot Streak, you know, has an 100% deposit match for new users. All these books run different promos. So really all I'm doing is just, you know, trying to take advantage of the profitable bets I can find. So Jonquel Jones, under 11.5 rebounds. How do we feel about this play? So we can go over to the sportsbook screen and we can take a look at it. So what we want to do is we want to go to player rebounds and we can take a look at Miss Jones. So you can see Jonquel Jones, this play looks incredible, right? Pure value in the market. So ParlayPlay has her line at 11.5. It looks like the other fantasy sites, Underdog, PrizePicks, SportsBattle, are at 10.5. And then most of the sports books also have her line at 10.5, right? With the under as the favorite outcome. So this play is actually incredible. So let's go to Jonquel Jones. And we want to take her under 11.5 rebounds, right? Again, all the other sites have her line at 10.5. This is rational, data-driven sports betting. And you can see DraftKings actually has her under 10.5. So like ParlayPlay has the line at 11.5. These other fantasy sites have the line at 10.5. And you can see most of these sports books, DraftKings has her line lower at 10.5. And they have the under 10.5 as the favorite outcome. Same with 10bet, same with Golden Nugget. ParlayPlay's at 11.5. DraftKings is saying, yo, first of all, the line should be lower at 10.5. And also the under 10.5 is the favorite outcome. So obviously this play, I mean, it's clear as day, right? This is an incredible bet. I don't care if you don't watch the WNBA. This should be a play you're on, right? You're finding value in the market. You're finding an edge. So another thing we could do, right? And I get it. It's boring. A lot of people don't like it, but you can middle bet, right? So we have Dorian Thompson-Robinson under 100.5 passing yards. You could middle bet this So it looks like they moved him up to 98.5. But anyway, so kind of the middle, a lot of the middle went away. But like even here, you could take on PrizePicks, Jonquel Jones over 10.5 rebounds. On ParlayPlay, her under 11.5. If she has exactly 11 rebounds, you win both bets, right? We found a big inefficiency, a big discrepancy in the market. And obviously that's something we want to take advantage of as sharp bettors. Anyways, that is beautiful. What else do we like? How about Brianna Stewart over 7.5 rebounds? How does this play look? It looks pretty good. All the other books in general have her line at 8.5, right? Underdog, PrizePicks, all these platforms have her line at 8.5. And you can see they just updated to 8.5. So some of these great betting opportunities, they're not going to last a long time. So the quicker you can move, the better. But anyways, we can keep going through. We can try to find some plays. So it looks like there's a little bit of value on Kellen Mond over 92 after passing yards. Here, ParlayPlay screwing up. So, oh, wow, here's a great play. So let's go here. And let's go to Zach Gallen, under 6 Ks, and it looks like they updated to 5.5. So, man, it looks like they're really on top of their lines right now, which is a little annoying. But regardless, I'm sure we'll be able to kind of finish out this slip. So we can go with Chelsea Gray over 6.5 assists. That play we already took on Underdog Fantasy, but hey, if there's value on both platforms, there's value on both platforms. And another thing to mention is on this platform, so this platform is ParlayPlay, you're never going to see me play a 3-pick entry. They're only giving you a 5x payout, whereas on Underdog, you're betting 100 to win 600. They're giving you a 6x payout. So Underdog Fantasy, for these 3-pick entries is giving you a 6x payout. ParlayPlay is only 5x. These things matter long-term in terms of your profitability as a sports bettor, and that's why you're not really going to see me play, that's why you're not going to see me play 5-pick entry, so this looks kind of nice. So we can take her under 5.5 assists as well. So just kind of looking through the fantasy optimizer, looking for value. You want to play these picks in green. Green is the cutoff point. Plays winning above 53.2% of the time are profitable on ParlayPlay. So we're looking for plays winning above 53.2% of the time. That's how you're going to beat this platform that, again, they're not changing your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So anyways, let's take a look. Here it looks like there's some value on Anthony Schwartz under 23.5 receiving yards. So we could take that. Or we could take Greg Ward under 26.5. You can see PrizePicks is substantially lower. Looks like there's some decent plays out there in general. What do we want to take? So Ian Book under 50.5 passing yards. So again, I'm just looking for some positively correlated plays. So if we want to take Greg Ward under 26.5, right? Finding some good value in the market, right? Where does PrizePicks have this guy's line? So again, just as a spot check, 23.5. So we're getting some decent value. And you can see there's a little bit of value on Ian Book's passing yards line. Other books have them a little bit lower. And the added benefit, once again, is we're getting some positive correlation here, right? These players are on the same team. If Ian Book doesn't throw for a lot of yards, then Greg Ward is more likely to go under his receiving yards line. So this is a 5-pick entry. We can go ahead and lock in on ParlayPlay. So again, on Underdog Fantasy, I'm largely playing 3-pick entries, as you can see right here, 3-pick or 5-pick. Whereas on this ParlayPlay platform, I'm playing 5-pick insured entries. And you can see here's the first slip I locked in. And again, the play on Jonquel Jones was definitely the best one. I mean, clear as day. It really doesn't get much clearer than this. 11.5, 10.5s across the board on other fantasy sites. A full rebound of value. That's a big deal. But anyways, we'll call this live stream for now. I'm going to drink my smoothie. I'll be back on live later. Try to find some bets before the NFL starts. Any plays on PrizePicks? It does look like there's some decent plays on PrizePicks, so I guess I got to come on live here in a bit. But anyways, thanks for the time. We'll chat soon.